Logan Paul's next WWE opponent revealed. Former AEW star makes their WWE in-ring debut this weekend, and former NXT title holders are now free agents. Plus, there's a couple of your questions thrown in for good measure as well. Hello, and welcome to the Solo Sunday News here at What Culture Wrestling. With myself, Andrew Pollard. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good Sunday. I hope you're having a good weekend. But let's get into wrestling talk. And if, like me, you didn't bother watching the silly daft YouTube boxing thing last night, you might have missed this, but Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio? Is that a matchup you'd be interested in? Does that float your boat? Does that tickle your pickle? Well, it looks like it could be on the horizon. Now, after Logan Paul defeated Dylan Dennis last night in the 6th round by DQ, after Dylan Dennis tried to basically get him in a guillotine choke and then security piled in, and Logan Paul got the win nonetheless by DQ. But in his post-fight interview, he name-dropped Rey Mysterio. He called out Rey Mysterio. And not just did he call out Rey Mysterio, he specifically said he's coming for the United States Championship that Rey Mysterio, of course, currently holds. So, could we get that match? Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul? I mean, if only there was some premium live event on the horizon where a big match like this could take place, a big star like Logan Paul could be brought in, and he can make a lot of money. Yes, of course, we have Crown Jewel on the horizon on November the 4th, Saturday, November the 4th. Logan Paul is no stranger to Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, for he competed at last year's event against Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, where he lost. But let's be honest, it was pretty much a banger of a match. I had a lot of fun with that match, more fun than I expected. Of course, Logan Paul has previous with Rey Mysterio. In Logan Paul's first ever match, he teamed with The Miz to defeat the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic. So could we be getting that run back a little bit? Rey versus Logan Paul, one-on-one, United States Championship on the line. It looks to me like it could be very, very likely. Now, what is also happened this weekend, as well as Logan Paul calling out Rey Mysterio, is the former Brian Pillman Jr. made his WWE in-ring debut. Yes, NXT ran some live events in Florida this weekend. Brian Pillman Jr., of course, now is going by the name of Lexis King, as we've seen on TV. And he made his in-ring debut for WWE. It was against Brooks Jensen on Friday from the Largo Event Center in Florida, where he picked up the win. And then on Saturday, last night, he defeated Riley Osborne at the Winter Haven Armory, also in Florida. So 2 wins for Brian Pillman Jr. or Lexis King straight out of the gate. Now, if you have missed the name change there, basically, Brian himself revealed that he said on NXT he's nobody's junior, and then he kind of took some shots at the wrestling business for taking his father from him. So he is going by the surname, the last name, King, of the man who raised him. Of course, sadly, Brian Pillman Sr. Passed away, 1997. Awful. So he's taking King from the man who raised him, and he's taking Alexis, this new first name, from Alexis, which is unfortunately is sadly deceased sister as well. So that's what the new name is for Lexis King, for Brian Pillman Jr. And he is off off to the races. That doesn't really apply to this. He's off and running, up and running. You can tell it's Sunday. You can tell I've had lots of coffee. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those days, man. So yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what Lexis King can do. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to that name, but when there was those initial stories of that name have been trademarked and been put to one side for Brian Pillman Jr., it's like, oh, really? But I thought once you saw him explain that on NXT TV, I'm fine with it. I'm okay. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to call him Lexis King, but I think that's all well and good. And I think he's going to absolutely knock it out of the park in NXT, and hopefully on the main roster in a wee while. Now, somebody who won't be knocking it out of the park in NXT or on the main roster are the artists formerly known as the Dyad, or we can once again call them grizzled young veterans. Yes. I've missed that. I've missed them. The Dyad, yes. No, not for me. What, Jagger Reed, Rip Fowler? No, give me James Drake, give me Zach Gibson, especially Zach Gibson, who's just one of the most underrated all-round wrestlers on the planet, Zach Gibson. As James Drake's great as well. But grizzled young veterans are back. Yes, they are out of WWE. They are out of NXT. Their contracts have finished up yesterday, the 14th of October, and they were quick to take to social media to post what is a brilliant video. Go out your way and see it. just basically announcing they're back as grizzled young veterans. They take a few little pot shots. What was it? So about soulless wrestlers with heartless gimmicks. And just saying about how they don't need any contact lenses, taking a shot of the whole dyad stuff. They don't need any production values, blah, 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 blah. They don't need multiple camera angles. And then they just do this really good. It's maybe, a minute, 90 seconds. Just go out your way to watch it if you haven't seen it. It's great. And I look forward to seeing what these guys do next, because just two very talented dudes, an extremely good tag team. How grizzled young veterans never made it to the WWE main roster, I will never know, because just that's such a great team together. And I mean, Gibson is a solo act as well. To me, there's so much potential there. But James Drake, as I mentioned, he's really good as well. So yes, good to see you back, lads. I can't wait to see what's next. Right, let's get some questions in. Dustin Sensenig's got in touch. Come on, Andrew. Come on, Dustin. Over the years, which, if any, referees became your favorite? Mike Yoder, Charles Robinson, and Aubrey Edwards are mine. There's some good shouts there. Little Nate is always entertaining to watch. For me, I mean, Jimmy Corderas comes to mind. Timmy White, I've got a lot of time for Timmy White. May you rest in peace. Joey Morella, another one we lost far too young. Tommy Young, Randy Anderson. Earl Hebner is like the one, but I'm not forgiving you for Montreal, Earl. Nah, it's not happening, mate. So he's on the naughty step still. So if I was going to say my favorite, I'd probably go Timmy White. I mean, Mike Hilder's a great shout. Charles Robinson, Little Nate's a great shout. Nick Patrick was great in WCW. Randy Anderson, I always like Randy Anderson as well. So yeah, there's been a lot of great referees over the years, and there are some great referees at the moment. There's some really bad referees at the moment as well. I'm naming no names apart from you, Rick Knox. Come on, man. Just apply some rules in your matches. I'm not asking much for a wrestling match. Just rules. Rules. That's what referees are there to do. Enforce rules. But that's a whole other argument for a whole other day. I could feel the comments getting nasty. Just chill out. It's Sunday. We're all happy vibes here. But yes, I'm going to go with Timmy White as my particular favorite. What else have we got here? Hector Garcia III's got in touch. Hey, Hector, hope you're well. Happy Solo Sunday. Here's an easy one. Does Nick Aldis ever wrestle in WWE? If so, what is his ceiling? Now, yes, in case you missed it, Nick Aldis, as revealed on SmackDown on Friday, is the new SmackDown general manager. Yes, this puts a big smile on my face. Been a big Nick Aldis fan for a long time. If you watch that first initial run of NWA Power, he was, as the national treasure, two-time NWA World Champion. Nick Aldis just absolutely killed it. He carried himself like the classic NWA champion, like a classic champion of old. Nick Bockwinkel wasn't a NWA champion, but that's what I get that vibe of just the suits, the slow, nuanced promos. He said things that just had you, it kept you thinking. Nick Aldis is great in ring. In the last decade or so, he's come on so much leaps and bounds from those early TNA years. So I've gone all the way around the houses to say, do I think Nick Aldis ever wrestles in WWE? I really hope so. I really, really hope so. I don't know whether it'll happen or not. I'm more optimistic of it now than I was, say, on Thursday, because Nick Aldis, in case you're unaware, had been working as a producer, had been doing a tryout as a producer, him and Bobby Roode, Robert Roode. So I was thinking if he's in that producer role, chances are he's probably not going to wrestle. But now he's an on-screen character, and I believe he's 36, might be 37. I'm sure he's 36, and the guy's in great shape. He's got the whole overall round package. So I believe Nick Aldis will indeed wrestle in WWE. As for his ceiling, I mean, it's the same with anything, really. It's like how you position him, how you use him, what slots you put him into. Could Nick Aldis be a world champion in WWE? The ability's there. It's just how you choose to use him. Could he be a very solid upper mid-card heel? Absolutely. Could he be a mid-card, upper mid-card babyface? Absolutely. The guy can do so much. So yeah, I hope he wrestles. And as for a ceiling, I don't really think there is one. The ceiling is not on Nick Aldis himself. It's not from him himself. It's from, obviously, of course, creative, as always. Adam G. Bo's got in touch. How much? Yeah, with an LA Knight. Yeah, if an LA Knight could. Yeah. LA Knight, yes, he would a lot, as we've seen on our screens on a weekly basis, Adam. Right, the Tribal Fiend has got in touch. Good morning, Weekend Warrior. Thank you very much. Yeah, I am the only person here on a Sunday. Yay. Yes, good morning, Weekend Warrior. With WWE not really having a solid storyline for War Games, Do you think it would be good to combine the match with Survivor Series tradition and have both GMs make brand teams to compete in the match using upper mid-carders? That could work. I mean, an interesting caveat there you could do if you're doing kind of brand on brand Raw versus SmackDown in the War Games environment. Maybe because they're SmackDown talents, maybe Nick Aldis just thinks, well, we need our strongest team possible. The Bloodline, we've got Roman Reigns, we've got Jim Uso, we've got Solo Sikoa. What about we throw Kevin Owens in? Because he's, not in the Bloodline, but in that match to represent SmackDown. That could be a nice little caveat. But I think there are storylines there as well, because you've got the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day is right there. There are, of course, Damian Priest. There is Dominic Mysterio. There's Finn Balor, and there's JD McDonough there. That's a Judgment Day. That's one side, and then against that, you Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso. You've got Sami Zayn now as a singles on Raw, and then you could throw in any number of different people. You could even throw in KO. So yeah, I'm looking forward to War Games. It's always an interesting match. It's never going to top Sting's Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance, of course, but hey, you can all try. What was that? Lee Wainwright has got in touch. Do you think Raw will move to Wednesday night and try and crush AEW? No, not at all. If NXT, they don't need to move Raw, because if you want to crush AEW, you just move NXT to Wednesdays, and that'll do the job, as proven. I'm joking. Oh man, no, I don't think. I know there's some rumblings that Endeavor are open to maybe moving Raw. It's not set solid on Mondays. I don't think that there's any need to move it to Wednesdays to go up against Dynamite, to be honest. I think it'll stay on Mondays for the foreseeable, of course, and then who knows? But no, I think we'll stick with it on Mondays. Right, Scott Monroe's got in touch. Why were the Young Bucks and Omega not on AEW's Dynamite show versus NXT? You think the EVPs will be the first Khan look to? Is all right there? You tell me, brother. I'm presuming all's all right there. I think all's all right there. But yeah, it was a bit of a strange one, especially when Tony was going so hard to kind of stir the pot and make a big deal of this head-to-head thing, and obviously the shots he was taking at Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon, and then kind of those side-eye shots to The Undertaker and John Cena after Tuesday. So you think if you're gonna make such a big deal of this, you think you would stack it with 3 people who are considered mainstays of that company, tent poles of that company, top stars in that company, especially, Kenny Omega, former world champion, and then the Young Bucks, who are a big deal for an AEW audience. So it to me, it was strange that they weren't on that show when it was meant to be such a big deal. But as for an answer, no idea whatsoever. Right, I believe that is an end to this week's Solo Sunday News. For myself, Andrew Pollard here at What Culture Wrestling. Be sure to have the best possible day. What you're doing for the rest of your Sunday, I hope it goes well. I'm going to go and write those ups and downs for Collision, which will be on whatculture.com shortly. Simon Mill will be here tomorrow with the ups and downs for that, and the rest of the lads will be here cracking on tomorrow as normal. Right, enjoy, have fun, I'm off.